Alright, let's do the Trainspotting decode for Madonna for tomorrow. 2:16 is today's date. We're looking at tomorrow's date, 2:17. Maybe something to do with the Channel Tunnel, a train, and Madonna. Okay, maybe Madonna's fake death, or maybe just a breakdown in the Channel Tunnel with Madonna on the train, or something. You know, who the hell knows? But we're going to look at this film, Trainspotting 2, and we're going to look at a whole bunch of other connections to tie in back with Bad Bunny, again back with the Hoover Dam, etc., etc. Okay, let's look at the release date for this film. Okay, so if you're not up to date with the channel Trainspotting, let me just show you something about Madonna, just in case you've never seen any of this stuff before. But if you look at the gematria for Madonna, it's 6226. If you look at the gematria for Train, it's 6226. If you look at the gematria for Tank, it's 6226. Okay, and there's also this 46 in Tank as well. Notice that Madonna also has the 127 numerology. Anyway, tomorrow's date obviously has 127 numerology, right? I want to show you now. Obviously, Trainspotting is obviously very important with Madonna because of the reference to train. Okay, so Trainspotting, where have I got it here? Anyway, let's look at the release date. This is Trainspotting 2. Reminds me of Terminator 2, Judgment Day, T2. Okay, anyway, let's look at, and actually, just before I forget, we're going to get into Robert Duvall just a little bit. I haven't had a chance to really look at him properly, but just the other day we mentioned there was a number jump with GoldenEye and through to, I think it was like the 12th of February, and it was a number jump that had the 1138 in it, and it reminded me of THX 1138, yeah, and Robert Duvall is in that film. And if you look at the police officers, enforcers, or whatever the hell's in that film, I've never seen the film, but those do remind me of Terminator 2. Yeah, the liquid silver Terminator. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked already, but look at the release date, right, of this film. It's got the 122 numerology for its Edinburgh release, which is important because it's set in Edinburgh. Okay, so that's quite an important release date, and that 122 numerology is our Montparnasse train crash numerology of 1022. Yeah, so same numbers essentially, same numerology. Look at the release date in the United Kingdom, 271217. So it's all 127 stuff. So we already, just with the release date for this thing, we're already looking at numbers for February the 17th. Also notice the 117 minutes. Okay, the number 17 to do with the temple, to do with the goddess, to do with Diana. Okay, so we're going to actually look at the female character in here, who is actually Kelly MacDonald, who is playing Diane. Okay, so the reference to Diana. Okay, anyway, where we'll go with this now, because this has got like a bunch of little connections with number jumps, it's just absolutely mental. So the first place I want to go is to the actual Edinburgh release of the film, 3313. Now we know we see a lot of 13 numerology with Madonna. Okay, the M is 13, and I don't know what else to say other than we just see a ton of 13 stuff with her. Notice the 33 on the front of this, like with Christ and Mary, Christ and Madonna. Okay. I don't think there's anything interesting particularly about the actual oh yeah, it was actually interesting. 466, 24 star. Okay, we're not going to go with look too much at this, but this is interesting with 4-6 again, the 4-6 numerology with Tank. And we're going to look at the 64 in a minute with Bad Bunny. But what I really wanted to show you was the fact that these numbers here in this order show up again if we go from the birth of the Hoover Dam, which we know that Madonna's halftime show, she did all the Hoover Dam stuff. We know that she's connected to the Hoover Dam quite a bit, okay? Anyway, the Hoover Dam through to 217 to tomorrow's date as well is 33013. So these two things are synchronizing, yeah, with the 3313. Okay, that is pretty interesting, right? That's doing that. Okay, so let's move on to the gal that is playing Diane, who is Kelly MacDonald. Where is she? Here. Okay, so if we go to Kelly MacDonald, if it'll do it, now the computer's having trouble, of course. Her birthday, 22376. The original Trainspotting actually was brought out on her 20th birthday. It was brought out on the 23rd of February 96. So the original Trainspotting, they made a point to bring it out on her birthday, her 20th birthday. So, which is important. It means that they're referencing her with the film, right? So what we want to do is we want to look at connections with her and Madonna. So the first thing we want to do is look at her birthday through to Madonna's birthday. Oh lordy lord, here it is, 6400. And who was wearing 64? Actually, I think I had a picture of it in here. Where is it? Well, maybe I don't. But anyway, who was wearing the number 64? I could have sworn I had a picture of it. Here it is. Who was can just about make it out? Who was wearing the number 64? Mr. Bad Bunny himself at the halftime show, at the Super Bowl halftime show. So already we're starting to see, and don't forget Tank is also 46. So okay, so we've got this connection. Her birthday to Madonna's the 64. So do we want to look? What connects Bad Bunny to Madonna? What connects all this together? We're going to go through it, all right? We're not just randomly pulling stuff here. First things first. This is Madonna's birthday through to Bad Bunny's, okay? 1299. Okay, get rid of the 0. What's the next number on? 1300 would be 1300. Okay, that's a bit of a stretch probably for people, but that's what I see there. I see the number before 13. Okay, so but what is interesting is this. He is 13 numerology. Okay, 310. Okay, 13 numerology, 3113. How do you want to look at that? Okay. Anyway, I was like, you know what? I'm going to look up and see if Madonna's ever done Playboy, because of course the connection with Playboy is to the Playboy bunny, the bad bunny, the naughty bunny. Okay, so I'm like, okay, I'll look up and see if she's done Playboy, and of course she has. September 1985. I don't know whether she was actually did it. I don't know if she actually did it willingly, or whether they just got pictures of her from earlier on in her life when she, obviously did some. Well, I don't even know what the pictures look like. I don't know if they're completely. Well, it says nude, but I don't. Anyway, irrelevant. September 1985 is what we need to look at, right? So of course, there's no actual date on the front of there apart from September 1985. So I'm like, well, I'll just put the 1st of September in and just see where that goes to Bad Bunny, because Bad Bunny is the Bad Bunny. Yeah, the Playboy bunny. And lo and behold, it's something interesting. So her release of Playboy through to the Bad Bunny, 3113. Okay, I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't remember if that was anything crazy. So let's not lose track of the 3313 at the start of this as well, okay? But anyway, that is absolutely crazy with the palindromic number there, and also you can click this off, and we've got our 312, which has been so important as well. And I will come back to that stuff with the dollar bill and 312 because there's actually a really big hidden and a really good decode that I'm going to do on that coming up. I don't know if I can do it tonight. I will not have time tonight, but maybe tomorrow night. Anyway, here is that number. Okay, look at this: 444 weeks, 4 days. You know, quadruple four there. Okay, 4 4s. That is well interesting with the White Wedding with Charlie Kirk, which we will actually tie into in just a second as well. Let's carry on with this Playboy stuff first, though, with the Bad Bunny. So the 1331, the 3113 is absolutely mental, but comes to find out they actually have a first issue date when this is used. This actual the Playboy Bunny thing, right? December the 1st, 53. So I'm like, well, I'll just put that in and see what it is out to Madonna's birthday, just for, just to see. And of course, what comes up? So the original Playboy Bunny to Madonna's birthday, 1720. Yeah, this is our 17th of February numbers right here. Oh dear. I'm like, okay, well that's crazy. I was like, I wonder if Kelly McDonald's ever done Playboy. Okay, and I couldn't find that she had. There was a Kathy McDonald that had done one, but it is funny because she appears at least. I don't know if they have any pictures of this in the actual um, magazine or not, but Trainspotting is obviously mentioned. It says Sex in Cinema 1996. That's when the original Trainspotting came out, and of course, if you've seen the film, you'll know that Ewan McGregor and Kelly McDonald are getting it on. And well, she's right down here with Ewan McGregor. Okay, so she is mentioned in this issue of Playboy. Anyway, I was like, well, I'll just put it in just to see. November, we'll just put November the 1st, 96 in just to see if there's anything randomly interesting. Yeah, look at this. So from the issue where she's mentioned through to 217, 10700 days. Here we go with the temple number, the Diana number. She's playing Diane in the film. The number 17, the 17 numerology coming up in there. That is just mental, mental as is. You might say, well, that's a weak one there, Dan. Anyway, what other number jumps have I got in here for her? And okay, so I've got the actual original. This is kind of funny as well because there's connections with this. This is the original Trainspotting release date through to tomorrow's date. 10952. This is Sharon Osbourne's birthday numbers here. October the 9th, 52 is Sharon Osbourne's birthday. Now, normally, this would sound very convoluted, but if you've been watching the channel since the summer, this actually is not as convoluted as it might sound. Because, I'm going to do a video on this, but Eli Manning is the reference in I Pet Goat 2 with Madonna, and that Super Bowl halftime show that she does links them to the Hoover Dam. Okay, so that's all previous decodes, right? So there's this connection with the Mannings, with at least with Eli Manning with Madonna. Okay, now if you saw in the summer, I did a little bit of a decode, and we were looking at a date to do with Peyton Manning, and it just so happened that date we were looking at Ozzy Osbourne died on that date. So there's this so there's this Manning brothers connection with Ozzy Osbourne, and so seeing Sharon Osbourne's birthday connecting back in with this with Madonna is like, it's not a stretch, okay, even though it sounds like it's a stretch. Yeah, connected through the Manning brothers. Anyway, I thought I had a number jump for her and Madonna. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head though. I don't know if it was something interesting or not. And there's also another interesting birthday, because you can change this, include end date, and if you do that with the 53, it comes out to, I can't remember this guy's, how you say the last name there, but Tony, I'm not even going to try and say it right because I'm just going to hash it up bad. But this actor is Monk, okay, based in where? The end of the line, San Francisco, yeah, and he's been in several other films as well, okay. So there's a lot of references with him. But the funny thing about Monk is I'd just been mentioning it about Vinnie Jones. Vinnie Jones has several nice connections to Madonna, okay. And anyway, Vinnie Jones is in a film. It's not a Guy Ritchie film, but it's called Mean Machine. And in this film, it's basically got everybody from like Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch and everything. But yeah, Jason in this film plays Monk. It's just so random, okay. So he's called Monk in the film, right? And so Vinnie Jones, like I was saying, has this crazy connection to Madonna. And let me show you his number jump. And obviously, when we're talking about Robert Duvall as well, Robert Duvall was also born on January the 5th, same as Vinnie Jones, okay. But let's look at Vinnie Jones's jump from his birthday through to, actually, this is today's date, okay. So tomorrow will be one more day on, okay. But look, he's palindromic. 16th, he's palindromic. 2 2 3 2 2. Yeah, Kelly McDonald's birthday, Trainspotting 2 2 3. This is referencing 223 or 322, whichever number you want to pick out there. But we're just going to do 223. We're not going to get into the 322 stuff. So, okay, that is absolutely mental. 223. So all that stuff with Kelly, and also I will say this: if you do click onto that date there, she on 22323, she ought to be how old? Either, well, I had a number jump in for that, but maybe I don't. But that's just 3 years ago, so minus off whatever age she is now. Where is she? Okay, she's 49, so maybe she would have been 46 then. 46, 47, 46. So again with the 46, that could be interesting, either 46 or 47. I don't know why I'm looking at that. Okay, what else have I got here? Minus 3 off of 49 is 46. Okay. What was this? Here we are. This is what's her faces? Sharon's birthday through to Madonna's. I thought I had it in here. We've got the 213 in the start of it. 137, that's Madonna numbers there with her birthday days left in the year. But let's just click it and see what it is. Can't write it. 322. I guess we will talk about 322. I could show you in the chart of Lorraine where 322 is. Let's go to the chart of Lorraine real quick. Because it is an important number. So let me show you this first. 322, okay, is is our 212 reference, and that was where our GoldenEye THX 11038 day number jump from GoldenEye through. Getting sidetracked again, but this is so 322 is super duper important, right? Because look, when you get to the either 12 or 10 is completion of cycle, yeah. And if you look at Lucas numbers, the 10th Lucas number is 123, and the total at that point is 321, and that 321 actually is one less than 322. Let me explain how that works just very quickly, right? If I wanted to know so if I was coming along this row here and I wanted to know the total right here to this point, so if I added all these numbers up, I can tell you right now without even having to add them up with the calculator what that is. It's 59. Okay, the total to that point. How do I know that? Because if I jump back over to here, to this column, we're going one less. So one less than 60 is 59. That's my total up to that point. Okay, so everything in, well, I'd say for these, this row, this row, this row, and this row, there is every single number in here has a number one less. So again, if I was looking at 18 here, up to this point, right, guess what? 47 minus 1 is 46. The total to this point is 46. 64, 46, okay? So you can see how this ties in the chart. Anyway, yeah, anyway, I want to get the other chart. I'll show you this other chart real quick in the next. I guess I didn't need to delete all that. I'm going to show you this in just a second because this is important as well. But anyway, that's kind of like all the stuff with the Bad Bunny, just random stuff that connects in with films. Kind of back with Guy Ritchie there, although I don't know if he was really involved with that, but it's the same production company and everything with that Mean Machine film. And I've shown you in Snatch. In Snatch, Vinnie Jones has Spud's head from Trainspotting in his window, and there's a reference to Madonna in that scene, and it just, just tons of stuff, just tons of little references with Vinnie Jones. Anyway, I want to actually jump back to the start of this now and show you something. So we're going to go back to Charlie Kirk. Now note that on 213 we had this 11811, and that is, again, Madonna's son Rocco has the 118 birthday. Yeah, the 11th of August. So an important thing with, and also Charlie Kirk dies on Guy Ritchie's 57th birthday, and also Madonna's daughter, Lord Leone, she also has a 10/14 birthday as well. Okay, I think she's 96 though. Okay, so there's a lot of time with Charlie Kirk and Madonna. I wanted to show you this. This is the White Wedding. Okay, this is the White Wedding. This is actually the 44th. This is the 44th anniversary of the White Wedding, Charles and Diana's White Wedding. And Charlie Kirk dies 44 days after this date. On this particular date, he is, on the White Wedding, on this 44th anniversary of the White Wedding, he is 11611 days old. Yeah, palindromic 116. Now what's interesting about that, the reason why I bring this up, is all this connection with the White Wedding and this 44 stuff. Remember we had that 4 in the one of those earlier number jumps. From the opening of the Channel Tunnel, okay, this is the day they open the Channel Tunnel, through to 217 is what? 11611 days. Obviously you can make that work for the 18th as well. So we will be looking into the 18th as well. But yeah, this is absolutely crazy. So this channel tunnel stuff, yeah, the rebirth out of the tunnel. What was this? This is, I think we've already done this though, haven't we? This is, well, just in case we haven't done it, this is, what's the name's, this is Kelly MacDonald's birthday through to 217. Let's see what this comes out at. 2039, yeah, 2093 prime. Let's just click it. And oh, that was what was interesting about this. It's 1776. Okay, so this is all to do with independence and reset. Okay. Now, was there anything else I wanted to show you with the thing? So, obviously, the idea of the channel tunnel with the train, yeah, the train spotting, and this date matching up with Charlie Kirk. I will just go back to this other thing, this 116. I will go back to this and I will re-explain this out from GoldenEye again. GoldenEye, Pierce Brosnan is 007. This is his birthday. Okay, Pierce Brosnan's birthday. The tunnel that he is in with the tank. Remember, tank equals 46, 62, 20, 26. With the 26, 62 like Madonna. The tunnel has this number on it. Okay, so this is the tunnel. Okay, the tank is sitting in the tunnel, and the tank actually has another number on it, which we're going to show you here, which is it's 343. So we can just go through here, and then the train that's approaching this tunnel that James Bond is going to blow up using the tank or derail has the 745 on the side of the train. So there is our Madonna references right in the middle of this thing, and if you notice, yeah, with Charlie Kirk, etc., 44 years, he is palindromic, 116, 11, to do with the wedding, right, the white wedding, okay, and again, 44 days on, he dies, okay, and then when we go back to the other chart, we'll look at the middle of the other chart again just to show you about the white wedding there as well. So that's in the middle of there, right? In the middle of this chart, right? This point right here is our 118 stuff, right? With Charlie Kirk on 213, and the white wedding is 729, and realistically, this number is really the midpoint here between these two things. Again, take 11, reduce it, 2. Take 18, reduce it, 9. You got a 29. Add them together, it's going to come out at 29. So this 7 is all about balancing these two columns. This is why Tower 7 had to go down. We had the metaphysical and the physical tower, the twin towers, and Tower 7 was also destroyed on that ritual. Okay, that's why. Because Tower 7 represents the balance of these two. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. That's pretty good for what we've got here. I've got a whole bunch more decodes to do. I just wanted to show you, the meaning behind the stuff as well as just connecting the dots. Okay, right. Be on the lookout next 2 days. Madonna. Okay, Madonna and Trainspotting and the Channel Tunnel. Alright, thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.